Hello travelers! I'm Lorekeen, your traveler's guide to Tyria, and today we continue our trip to Queensdale and we will visit Altar Brook Vale. To get there from Shaemore Fields, which we explored last time, link in the description if you missed it, we will ignore Corporal Yarantia words and we will head through Pinion Trail. As you see, Corporal Yarantia had a very good reason to warn us, this place is full of Ettins. They are probably the descendants of the gypsy Ettins that lived around here hundreds of years ago. These two-headed humpbacks are only barely intelligent, but they possess colossal strength, a love for clubs and, apparently, a hatred for bunnies.
Ert, I want more sauce! Shut your face, Burt! No more for you! But Ert! I need more sauce!
The biggest Ettin we encounter is veteran Ert and Burt, who is protecting a jug of power unguent. If you want this hero point, you need to fight him and take his jug.
Time for more sauce? No! Nobody gets sauce! You fight me, you get sauce! No fair, Ert! I can't fight you! Not fair!
So you know, the unguent has the power to enlarge and color you green. Be aware, 1 serving per head. Also, you won't be able to mount until its effects expire. At the trail's end, we exit an altar's windings, a road twisting its way down the hill in a harpy-infested area. These winged female raiders once thrived in Alona 250 years ago, but have spread north since. Legends say they are the descendants of fallen servants of Duena. If you dare approach their nests, you will discover a hidden chest. Under this hill, there are some cavern systems. Outside of one of the caves we meet a rune hunter, fascinated with the creatures that inhabit the place, in particular with a veteran cave troll who is guarding a cache of rare rune stones. Once in a while, the troll puts a rune out to gather ambient magics. Of course, she would like to get her hands on one of these runes, to use them for some powerful spells. If you decide to help her, she will then sell you a small troll stone to wear as an accessory. Another chest contains some bandit loot and it can be found tucked at the base of this tree and it can give you another hero point. But Franklin Quickblade and 2 of his friends won't let it go without a fight. But how did the bandit loot get here? The last time we saw the bandits they were on the other side of the hill, in Shaemore's Fields. Here is a secret, there is a second system of caves under the hill and it is housing the bandits that give so many headaches to the farmers. Remember Mep's Moas? This is where the bandits bring the birds and the stolen feed from the farms. You can free them in a dynamic event and, if you stick around, you get a chance to kill the bandit lieutenant. If you defeat him, a bandit turncoat will surrender and become a merchant for a short while, selling you bandits' improvised bomb. The first thing the lieutenant does when he appears again, is to execute the bandit turncoat, probably for treason. You may wonder how such a big nest of bandits manage to thrive in this area and not get caught. And here is the answer. The cave system has many exits, but one of them leads to this inconspicuous house on the hill, where the bandits pretend to be farmers. They shamelessly claim to have better apples than Ada and we already know this just can't be. Farmer George is onto them.
Hey! One of those so-called farmers up that hill just hit me in the face!
Back in the days of Guild Wars 1, the same caves that give these bandits cover probably hosted Zinn's laboratory, a secret research site, where the foremost Golomancer in the world, founder of Radinovus, also known as Zinn the Amazing, the Sensational Zinn, Super Genius Zinn, Intruder Zinn, and Mr. Zinn Competent, conducted research into methods for combating Mursa to help win the war in Kryta. A secret river passage in the Talmark wilderness was the only way to reach it. One of the Seraph's first missions after the Krytan Civil War was to secure the route so that it couldn't be used by smugglers. And this is why we have an outpost tower right where the passage used to be. Corporal Sable is very proud to be in charge here, and along with Lieutenant Leaf, they try to protect the workers at the tower and keep an eye on the area, especially since the farmers from Shamore's fields are not the only ones bothered by the bandits.
You know what I could go for right now?
What's that?
A big slice of my mother's Marionberry pie.
Yeah, I doubt if my pigs would even touch the slop out here.
Here are a couple of caves, both full of wolves. One of the caves has a chest for you if you dare enter. Bar Curtis Ranch is a large cattle ranch owned by Cattleman Curtis. The beef products from this ranch can be found throughout Tyria and all the way to the Black Citadel. Cattleman Curtis runs the farm with the help of ranch hand Joe and ranch hand Trish, who is very proud to work here. Like all the other farms in this area, this place is often attacked by bandits and you can help protect it. If you are low on weapons, you can always throw the cow pies to damage and confuse the targets.
Bandits come and harass us whenever they like. We need higher fences. Or tougher cows. Don't just stand there, cows! Next time I raise something smart enough to fend off bandits. Get off this ranch, you fiends! Now that those bandits are gone, let's celebrate with some beef brisket.
Curtis will be happy to sell you a seared beef steak, part of the fine dining achievement. The same steak can be bought in Lion's Arch at a more expensive price, 32 versus 24 coppers. Look at this beautiful waterfall called Clayent Falls. A great place to have a bee farm. Especially if you love bees. And Fiona Hastings here loves bees very much. A bit too much maybe? Sometimes she sings lullabies for them. One of the things that drives her son, Gideon Hastings, crazy. They don't have a problem with the bandits. Not with the human ones anyway.
I didn't invite you to help yourself to my honey. I'd remember if I did. Someone! Anyone! Help! Protect the beehives!
Their problem is the bears that keep attacking, in search of honey.
Begone, bear! I know you think I want you here, but I don't. Ha! You can't beat me, bears! You were so focused on getting your paws on my sweet, sweet honey. You never thought I'd get help, did you? But I know people. Dangerous people. Let this be a lesson to you. Remember it the next time you think of stealing my honey.
If you successfully defend the beehives from them, Fiona will become a merchant, selling you items necessary for the legendary weapons Frostfang and Hope. If not, at least you get to see the bears becoming stuffed and friendly when they've eaten enough honey. Fiona can also sell you a jar of bees, and if you use it in the fight, it will count towards the Uncanny Canner achievement, which rewards you with a 20 slots bag. Gideon has to fix the bee boxes that the bears destroy. He really wishes his mother would move the bees, but he thinks she wants to teach the bears a lesson. Hannah works for Fiona and she also considers her a bit crazy. Be careful in this area, bears are not the only danger. Zur the Venomous, a wanted bandit leader, tends to appear around here every 10 minutes. You can kill her and collect her bounty, for the Long Arm of the Light achievement. Although if you kill her, there is a chance that the legendary bandit executioner would spawn after. Especially if you have the bandit death mark in your inventory. Passing by this priest of Lisa, who enjoys the view of the waterfall, we arrive at the Duran Brothers Docks, a small one-room house. The two brothers and their wives make their living fishing on the lake. Welkin Duran lives with his wife Alicia, daughter Isara, and Gunther and his wife, In. Isara, as any kid living in a room with 4 other adults, would sure like some privacy. And on the other hand, would appreciate some help. She seems to be the one doing all the hard work around here since her lazy husband is too afraid of the monster in the lake and he doesn't seem to care that much for his wife's safety. You can of course help him gather grubs to use as bait for fishing and kill the monster, a veteran sawtooth barracuda. For this, you would have to visit the troll cave again. Welkin, Alicia, and Isara are all main characters in the PS3 game Valkyria Chronicles. And that's it for today. If I missed anything interesting, feel free to share it in the comments below for the benefit of all the travelers. If you enjoyed our trip, please like, subscribe, and click the notification icon, so you don't miss our next adventure when we will meet a long distance runner and the other interesting people of Claypool. Happy exploring!